Hello, everyone. Welcome to quarter two, week three and four, music and arts eight. We are now in session visual art. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Here is our content standard. You may actually pause the video and read the content standard as well as the performance standard. Here is our learning competency and learning objectives. So we are on the same topic, but we will focus on subtopic three, which is visual arts, focusing in Chinese brush painting, Japanese woodblock painting, Indonesian Wayang Kulit. Activity: onion printing or painting. Materials needed: onion, acrylic paint or oil paint or watercolor paint, paintbrush, Oslo paper. Instruction: cut the onion in half or in quarter depending on your concept. Paint the inner part of the onions and stamp it onto the Oslo paper according to your planned design. Be creative, whether you create a cherry blossom tree, tomatoes, etc. Have fun. Session 3, Subtopic 3, Visual Arts. Let's start with Chinese brush painting. Chinese brush painting is a traditional art form that has been practiced for centuries in China. It is characterized by its emphasis on brushwork, ink, and the use of rice paper or silk as a surface for painting. Chinese brush painting has a long history dating back to ancient times, with roots in calligraphy and ink wash painting. It developed alongside other traditional Chinese art forms such as calligraphy, seal carving, and poetry, and has been influenced by Taoist, Confucian, and Buddhist philosophies. So here is an example, a short clip of an example of a Chinese brush painting. So of course we have the artist, the one who paints.
So I decided to
He's grinding the ink in the ink
brush relatively
stone.
dry with the tip on the dip a little bit water or dip a little bit black ink. It's using a Chinese brush to writing Chinese characters. The calligraphy like brush stroke outline.
So basically, that's the idea of the art of Chinese brush painting. If you wanna watch the full video, I'm gonna put the link in the description box. So these are the materials and tools needed in Chinese brush painting. So the primary materials used in Chinese brush painting are brushes, ink, paper, and inkstone. So originally, handles are made with bamboo. So during the ancient times, of course, it's bamboo that they can really use as their handle. And then the brush, typically they are made from the hair of animals such as goat, wolf, and rabbit. And the brush, it's held upright and used with controlled movements to create precise lines, dots, and strokes. Another traditional Chinese painting paper, known as Shuan paper, is prized for its absorbency and texture. Shuan paper and rice paper can be confusing because Shuan paper is the original Chinese art paper, often called rice paper. But it's not actually made from rice. It's made from the bark of the blue sandalwood tree and other natural materials. Ink is made from grinding an ink stick on an inkstone with water to achieve the desired consistency. Black ink comes from lamp black, a substance made by burning pine resins or tung oil. Colored pigments are derived from vegetable and mineral materials. Both are manufactured by mixing the pigment source with a glue base, which is then pressed into cake or stick form using a special stone. The artist must grind the ink back into a watery solution immediately before painting. Techniques and styles. Chinese brush painting encompasses a wide range of subjects, including landscapes, flowers, birds, animals, figures, and abstract motifs. Styles can vary from highly detailed and realistic to expressive and abstract, with artists often developing their own signature techniques and interpretations. Mogu, or boneless painting, this is painting without outlines. In these paintings, forms are made by ink and color washes rather than by outlines. Moistening ink, adding water to ink for gradation effects. Pomo, or splashing ink, sprinkling ink to create texture. A Chinese term referring to splashed ink or the free and active maneuvering of ink on the surface. Symbolism and aesthetics. Chinese brush painting is deeply rooted in Chinese culture and aesthetics, with symbolism playing an important role in the composition and subject matter. Each element in a painting may carry symbolic meaning, conveying ideas such as harmony, balance, longevity, and tranquility. The use of negative space and the appreciation of imperfection are valued principles in Chinese aesthetics. Influence and evolution. Chinese brush painting has significantly influenced the development of art in East Asia and beyond. It has inspired artists in Japan, Korea, and other Asian countries, leading to the emergence of distinct regional styles. In modern times, Chinese brush painting continues to evolve, with artists experimenting with new materials, techniques, and subject matter while preserving the traditional principles and spirit of the art form. Japanese woodblock painting. Japanese woodblock printing, known as ukiyo-e in Japanese, is a traditional art form that flourished during the Edo period. That's from 1603 to 1868 in Japan. It is characterized by its intricate designs, vibrant colors, and meticulous craftsmanship. Ukiyo-e originated in the bustling urban centers of Edo, which is the modern-day Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka during the 17th century. Initially, it was primarily associated with depicting the floating world, Okiyo, which referred to the transient pleasures of urban life, including entertainment, theater, fashion, and the natural world. Over time, Okiyo evolved to encompass a wide range of subjects, including landscapes, portraits, historical scenes, and mythology. So here's an example of the process, just to give you an idea on how Japanese woodblock printmaking is. Step 1, transferring the image to the key block. Step 2, carving the key block. This uses both a knife and varying sizes of gauge. Step 3, test printing. After the first print, the artist notices there are some areas that printed inadvertently. So she carves more of the block. Step 4, color printing. So the artist is adding the color one by one, and that's the final output. As for the materials and process, we still continue. The artist creates a design on paper, which is then transferred onto a wooden block. So first, the artist will create again a design or will paint on a paper. Then, the block is meticulously carved to create raised areas for the ink to adhere to. So from the artist, then it goes to the woodblock carver or the horishi. The printer then applies ink to the blocks and carefully presses them onto paper to create the final print. So after the woodblock carver or the horishi, then it's time for the surishi or the printer to do the final step. Themes and subjects. Ukiyo-e prints often depict scenes from everyday life. They reflect the tastes, the trends, and social dynamics of the Edo period society. Some of the most renowned ukiyo-e artists include Katsushika Hokusai, Utagawa Hiroshige, and Kitagawa Otamaru, who contributed to the diversity and sophistication of the art form. So usually, the themes are popular kabuki actors, courtesans, and famous landmarks and natural landscapes. Influence and legacy. Ukiyo-e prints had a significant impact on the development of Western art, particularly Impressionism and Post-Impressionism during the 19th century. Western artists such as Vincent van Gogh, Claude Monet, and Edgar Degas were inspired by the bold compositions, flattened perspective, and expressive use of color found in ukiyo-e prints. The popularity of Japanese woodblock prints in Europe and America contributed to a broader appreciation of Japanese art and culture. It was Vincent van Gogh, or in England they say Vincent van Gogh, that was perhaps the most enchanted by the arrival of this new Japanese art, which is evident in the hundreds of ukiyo-e wood blocks that he collected and are now held in the Van Gogh Museum, Amsterdam. His passion is clearly evident in Bridge in the Rain, a copy of Hiroshige's Sudden Shower over Shin-Ohashi Bridge in Atake, 1857, which showed his developing fondness for experimenting with depth, perspective, and block colors. Today, there are artists and printmakers who continue to practice the techniques of ukiyo-e, preserving its rich legacy while also exploring new interpretations and innovations. Okay, so as you can see, ukiyo-e popularity. While ukiyo-e declined in popularity in Japan with the advent of modernization and westernization in the late 19th century, it experienced a revival in the 20th century due to renewed interest in traditional Japanese arts and crafts. So until now, until the present, they are working or they are reviving. Actually, they have revived already. So it still exists nowadays. This ukiyo-e prints or the Japanese woodblock printing. Let's now move to Indonesian Wayang Kulit. Indonesian wayang kulit is a traditional form of shadow puppetry that has been practiced for centuries in Indonesia, particularly on the islands of Java and Bali. It is deeply rooted in Indonesian culture and mythology. It has its origins in ancient Javanese and
Forgive
Balinese
me, my lord.
Hindu Buddhist traditions where it
My
was
name
used as a
Kualin.
medium for
I am
storytelling,
your servant.
religious teachings, and
Okay.
social commentary. For the puppet construction, The puppets typically feature elaborate costumes, headdresses, and accessories that represent different characters in the story. Wayang Kulit puppets are intricately crafted from translucent buffalo hide or goat skin, which is carefully shaped, painted, and perforated to create intricate designs. Again, it's from a translucent buffalo hide or goat skin. Wayang kulit performances are usually held at night in a designated area known as pondok, which is illuminated by an oil lamp or electric light behind a cotton screen. The dalang or puppeteer manipulates the puppets behind the screen while narrating the story, voicing multiple characters and providing musical accompaniment with a gamelan orchestra or traditional instruments such as a kendang and gender or metallophone. So the one holding the puppets, it's actually the dalang. So the accompaniment, it's the gamelan orchestra. So here's the bonang. As you can hear, the songs they are making, it's actually the sulukan. It's the mood setting for the wayang kulit performances. Symbolism and philosophy. Wayang kulit performances often convey moral and philosophical teachings, exploring themes such as good versus evil, loyalty, sacrifice, and the cosmic balance of the universe. The characters represent archetypal figures that embody virtues and vices, with the narrative serving as a reflection of human experience and struggles. Cultural preservation and adaptation. Despite the challenges posed by modernization and changing cultural landscapes, wayang kulit remains an integral part of Indonesian cultural identity. It's amazing, right? So they were able to preserve it from then up to present. Efforts have been made to preserve and promote this traditional art form through educational programs, cultural festivals, and community performances. Additionally, contemporary artists and dalangs are exploring new ways to adapt and innovate within the tradition, incorporating modern themes, technologies, and storytelling techniques. Worked example. To enhance the students' comprehension of the symbolism depicted in Asian folk arts, the teacher will encourage students to seek out keywords within a puzzle that represent these cultural symbols. So look out for keywords within a puzzle that represent cultural symbols depicted in Asian folk arts. Encircle the keywords. So you may pause the video and try to look for answers honestly before moving it forward. There you go. I hope you were honest. You tried to pause the video first. Lesson activity. Synthesize how significant folk performing and visual arts in Asia intersect with the emerging creative trends. First, carefully read the headings of each column and row in the table to understand what information you need to fill in. Then look at the given data or instructions to determine what goes in each cell of the table. Finally, write down the relevant information in the corresponding cells, making sure to be accurate and organized. Don't you worry, your teacher will explain this further to you. So you're gonna fill in the boxes below. So you'll be talking about the characteristics of the following traditional Asian visual arts. You're gonna write down the origin, like where they came from, the materials involved, what are the materials used in the following visual arts, what are their common themes and subjects, the process or the performance, and then its symbolism.
Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.